Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this is going to be a Raid Shadow Legends video about the Doom Tower final boss, the Eternal Dragon. And I want to get this video out quick here on the channel to showcase my current or most current team that I'm using for this boss, because the Doom Tower is ending very soon. So I'll show you the stats involved, kind of like the things you need to aim for, the resistance and accuracy and speed of the final boss, and show you how I was able to clear it and take it down, and then maybe talk about some other, good champions that maybe I'm not using but are good options to consider that kind of have a kit that would shine against the Eternal Dragon. So let's get into it. Alrighty, now first of all, for Iragoth, the Eternal Dragon final boss, like the unique and special utility parts of the boss's kit are going to be that it revolves around a lot of block active skills type stuff and increased cooldown type of mechanics. So it has a default ability that's going to be an AoE block active skills on your team, which means that a good route to go can be high resistance champions, so that you can kind of deflect the things that is trying to do to you in terms of blocking your active skills. But also, alternatively, in the passive here, where the bosses always have their mechanic where they're immune to CC and stuff, you will see that this boss is not immune to increase the cooldown of skills. So champions like Basher and Warlord can have a lot of utility here. If you've got enough resistance to stop the A1, you could have champions like that are constantly kind of debuffing the boss with those increased cooldown skill abilities. And I do want to get a full comprehensive guide out. By the time we have this Doom Tower iteration out again, I'll get like a full every single stage, normal and hard, breakdown of each one individually and how to kind of go about that. But in this video, where I'm talking about the final boss on hard, is going to be 250 speed on the boss that you're going to have to at least hit that threshold. So if you want your champions to go, you got to be above that 250 to kind of outpace the boss, or have some turn meter fill with somebody like an arbiter, increase speed, stuff like that. Also, the boss is going to have 330, 350-ish accuracy and resistance. So if you want your champions to do a good job and be consistent placing those debuffs, you need to get to about 360, 370 accuracy, and you would want to get to upwards of over 400 resistance, like 400, 415, 430, to be really good at stopping some of these block active skills and different mechanics that this boss is going to try to do to suppress you. So then if I back out to the team building screen, you can see I'm on the final boss on the hard version of the Doom Tower, and this is the team that I use to farm the boss in about 2 minutes pretty reliably. So, in terms of mechanics you want to bring, it's great to have some support. Obviously, Duchess is amazing in all content. So if you don't have a Duchess, you'd go with somebody who can revive and support your team, up your toughness and stuff like that. Obviously, Lydia is amazing, brings the increased speed and the defense break and all of that utility. Candrafon is a great DPS because you want champions that have a really hard-hitting default, an A1, like a Rhodos, Candrafon type of champion, because you're going to be doing your default ability a lot probably with your damage dealers. Candrafon obviously pairs amazing with Duchess because of the buff from the Veil. And then Martyr is an S tier champion as well for this boss because of the counter attack and the toughness, and then also the decreased attack suppression that she can do. And obviously Geomancer is pretty S tier from a damage dealing context in pretty much all content. So now let's go ahead and pop open a run here, and I'll show you kind of the team in action. As far as the waves are concerned, the Little Miss Annies here can hit pretty hard, so be careful about that. But if the waves are a problem for you, you're probably not going to be in a good position to take down the boss, because the waves are always a complete joke compared to the boss on these final stages of the Doom Tower. So once we get to the boss, I will kind of show you the rotation and how things are going. I can make the RSL helper a little bit smaller here. So there we go, and now we are up at the boss fight, and you will see 1, 2, and then the 3, 4, and the 5. So I'm able to get all of my turns in before the boss takes his turn, and that's because I got some different buffs to my speed from the masteries of killing the waves, and then also I have the Lydia increasing the speed of my team, and she's got a pretty high speed there of 276. So even though my Martyr and my Geomancer are at 237, they're able to go before the boss gets a turn, and then it's just a DPS race. We're just breaking the defense. We got lucky lucky. We got a Brimstone proc right there. You can see Canderfon running up, doing a lot of damage with the A1. We placed the Quicksand there with Geo, and now when the dragon attacks right there, boom, it's going to do a bunch of damage to itself and a Brimstone. So a little bit of RNG. The fight's going to take anywhere from like a minute 40 to like 2:30, but with my team and the stats that I've got right here, mostly fine. You can see the speeds are around like that 2:30 to 2:70 mark, and then the accuracy enough to kind of place things when I need them, like my Lydia with the 472, my Martyr with the 400, and then my Geo with the 482. You should be fine on accuracy anywhere around 375, 380 or so. And there it is, a minute 45, and we're able to take down the Eternal Dragon. As far as the toughness stats, you see like my Canderfon had 48k on the HP and was able to do just fine, and then you know, Geo at 45. So as long as you can get like around 45k HP and you know, 2500 to 3k defense with enough support, you should be able to kind of keep your DPS champions alive long enough to take it down. And you can also go the high resistance route of trying to kind of shrug off what it's doing to you and go with a bunch of heals like with Syl the Drakes and Verask and stuff like that. Padma can also be a really, really good epic champion for progress in the Eternal Dragon fight because of the super reliable A1 placing decreased attack. Now, some people forget you do have to get the crit rate on Padma in order for this to work, because it's only going to place that AoE decrease attack if the A1 is critting. But Padma also, a lot of people forget about this. This was actually super rare in the game back when back in the early days of Raid. But Padma has this AoE 3-turn cooldown of decreased accuracy, which can help you if you're going kind of the high resistance route on the Eternal Dragon fight as well. And remember, I talked about Basher, the Void Epic in the Skinwalkers, has this A2 here. Really, really good ability for an Epic that would be relevant for this boss fight. Remember that the Eternal Dragon is not going to be immune to the increasing of cooldown, and Basher has it on a 3-turn cooldown by 2 turns. So another Epic to kind of watch out for that can have some utility in this fight. And another epic to possibly watch out for if you're going the more sustained route of a tanky team versus this and not trying to like speed farm it or something. Verask, obviously one of the best healers in the game, as an epic option to keep an eye on as well. So there we have it. That is my team versus the Eternal Dragon. Would love to hear who you're using down below. If you've got good rares and good epics and different legendaries. I know like Drexstar can be pretty good in this fight as well. Always enjoy hearing your teams compared to mine down below to take down the final Eternal Dragon boss. And we are going to be having a new rotation of the Doom Tower here in just a couple days. So make sure and stay in the loop here on the channel, because I'll get a comprehensive guide out about all of the sets involved and all of the bosses and the secret rooms and the stuff to watch out for, some infographics and stuff for you to take advantage of in the next iteration of the Doom Tower. But that does it for this one. As always, I appreciate all of you. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Peace.